Yo, we're back. Fresh episode of Talking Game. I'm your host, Anthony, LT King, Yellow Tape King, Tony, whatever you call me, lets me know what I was on when you was fucking with me. And we're back with a special episode of Talking Game. And I have 1/3, 2/3 will be on a little bit later of the Brit Does Baseball podcast. Gary, how are you doing, man?
I am perfect. Why do people call you LT?
My dad was Tony. I was
Yeah.
little Tony.
Oh, fair enough.
LT.
Self-explanatory. Yeah.
Yep. See, you're the first person to ask me like about any nickname that I run through in that list of things. That's pretty cool. And that's why I hit record because we were just chopping it up and it was already starting to get good. You were saying how the Dodgers are ruining baseball.
Oh, you want to start straight away, do you?
We're getting into it. Like we got to get into it, man. Um yeah, why? Like why do you feel mind you, it's no salary cap for no teams.
Yep. No, I agree.
No teams.
Yeah.
They're not breaking any rules. But why do you feel like they're ruining baseball?
So, for full disclosure, I'm a Cubs fan, so it's not like I
Yes.
hate the Dodgers for any territorial reason or anything like that. Just saying that from the off. Um, for me, it's so I'll say soccer. I'll play. I'm a soccer fan. I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan for even more on my sins for being a Cubs fan. And there's a team in the Premier League called Man City, who I think everyone now knows as like basically just they got taken over by someone in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, I can't remember. And basically they just spent their way to Premier League titles. And it really wound me up because, Spurs are sort of, let's say, top 6, 7 team in the league most years. And when we were at our most competitive, we couldn't win the league because City would just go and, oh, we haven't got a striker. Oh, we'll go spend £200 million on him. So that's kind of that's where it's come from. I get that teams need to spend money to be good. It's part of baseball, and you're totally right. There's no salary cap. They're not doing anything illegal, deferrals, all of that jazz. That's fine. I appreciate that, but I like baseball to be as competitive as it can be. And when you've got every off season, the rumor just being, oh, the Dodgers they need a DH. Oh, let's just go get Shohei Ohtani. Oh, we need a first baseman. Let's go get Freddie Freeman. Let's go get Mookie Betts. Oh, we need a rotation. Oh yeah, our rotation wasn't very good last year, even though we won the World Series. Let's just go and get Blake Snell and Roki Sasaki and see how that goes. So that's where I'm coming from. I just think it's unfair on the smaller teams in baseball, and I know there's a bit of give and take with the Rockies or the Pirates, for example, need to spend more to be competitive.
Yeah, like the Athletics, they were forced to sign Severino.
Oh, 100%.
Like they had to spend some money. Um my my only thing I mean, I got a couple pushbacks. I think part of it is because as a Yankees fan, I cannot come off as hypocritical and now be mad at the Dodgers after that's literally the era that made me the Yankees fan. The late 90s, early 2000s. So I can't be I think that's part of the reason why I defend the Dodgers because I don't want to look like that guy, right? But some of the some of the signings by the Dodgers, they didn't outbid people. People want to go play for the Dodgers. Like Blake Snell had plenty of offers and he wanted to go to LA. The Mookie Betts situation, that's Boston that was ownership malpractice trading Mookie Betts. Like those situations, I think Freddie Freeman, right? He wanted to stay in Atlanta and his agent botched the deal. So he ends up going back to LA. I think yes, the Dodgers do spend a lot of money and they're able to spend a lot of money, but part of the reason why I like doing this podcast because it gives me the opportunity to think through certain stuff like while we're talking. Some of these players really just fell into the Dodgers lap. Like and with like Shohei, Yamamoto, Sasaki, I'm realizing they don't want to leave the West Coast.
No.
So I'm not about to go play for the Angels. Like I'm not about to, like
Yeah.
I might go to the Padres. Okay, that's cool. Maybe the Giants, but we got show. I'm going where show at personally.
Well,
Take me to the show.
yeah, and it's like I get it. the teams that have built up those pipelines with the Asian markets, Korea and Japan, the Cubs have built up, Imanaga,
Yeah.
Suzuki, going back Fukudomi. Um, going well back, that's way before my time. I only got into baseball in 2023. Yeah, I know the name. So I understand the element from Yamamoto and Sasaki, but I guess what I'm saying is when it came to like the off season and the bullpen, and the Cubs were, in hindsight, absolutely would not want to touch Tanner Scott at the moment with a barge pole, right? Yeah, absolute trash for them. But we put the same offer on the table as the Dodgers did, and because they've already spent big on Freeman, Betts, Atani, Yamamoto, they've got that super team. Tanner Scott was like, well, I'm going to go play on the West Coast and want to win. So it's just tough. I just find it as part of it's probably because the Cubs are realistically a big market team that play like a small market team, just with the way that we don't spend and we don't really give those contracts out. I mean,
Yeah.
trust me, we're not re-signing Kyle Tucker.
I was going to ask that. Do you think like Kyle Tucker is no?
Nah, he's gone.
I don't know, man. And the only reason why, and like I say, like we talked before I hit record, I did this to talk to people who are more fans and they pay more attention. But the only thing I think is why trade for him then?
Because we had a win now season, and the front office at the start of the year were like, yeah, we're going to win now. And then they just totally blew it at the trade deadline. We just did absolutely nothing. We can get into this later, but your biggest positional signing being Willie Castro, really? Your biggest starter being Michael Soroka, who pitches an inning and 2/3 before going off injured for 2 months.
I wouldn't have, to quote you, I wouldn't have touched Michael Soroka with a dodgeball. And I mean, I guess you try to get, he gets a minor league deal at best because you go off pedigree, but his injury history, you gotta factor in. He's not playing. He's not pitching most of the season.
No, he's not the player he was when he played for the Braves.
No.
And yeah, he had a good year for the Nationals, but we were in talks for Mackenzie Gore, and I know he ended up getting injured, and his second half of the season weren't great. But you get 3.5 years of team control with Mackenzie Gore. Yeah, you probably have to give up half the farm, but Mackenzie Gore, when he's on it, is one of the best pitchers in MLB. Period.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna take I mean, I guess it's a cheaper risk or Soroka. I never thought about that, but that is true. Like with the Cubs, they are such a big market. They're the Cubs, right? If you think about top 3 or 4 recognizable brands in baseball, they have to be one of them. What? Dodgers, Cubs, Red Sox, Yankees, right?
Yeah, maybe you chuck the Giants in there. I'd say they're top 5 or top 6.
Maybe so
Blue Jays, but yeah, they're one of the big boys.
Definitely. And I'm thinking about just the fact of like after you win the title, like how all those pieces just slowly go away, and is because you guys are cheap. I didn't realize that, but like I said, this is why I talk to others, man, to get this knowledge and pay more attention to it. But at least you guys don't do the Brian Cashman, the pump faking. Brian Cashman always, hey, we're going to spend the money. We're going to do whatever it takes until we get close to the trade. I mean, not the trade deadline, the luxury tax. And then it's halt. Like, we're not doing anything else.
Yeah, I mean, you could ask any Cubs fan about this season, and it's the biggest waste. I mean, I've only been following baseball religiously. This is my 3rd season.
Really?
So So beforehand, we can get into it later. Beforehand, obviously I knew about the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Cubs, but didn't follow baseball at all. Started really following it in 2023 as a Cubs fan, and this season has been the best of the 3. The first 2 you finish with a record of 83 wins. You don't get into the playoffs. This year's been the best year, but coming into it when you have Kyle Tucker 1 year away from free agency, in my head I think he was always going to hit free agency. But when it gets, yeah, you have to. But when you get to May, June, and you hear that the Cubs haven't really even been in talks, you're like, oh, they're just trying this for 1 year. But the fact that you give up like Cam Smith, who I think will be a star for Houston, you give up Isaac Paredes at third base, who struggled to hit a Wrigley, but the guy's got pop, and he had a really good year down in Houston. Yeah. And Hayden Wesneski, I wasn't too sad to see him go, but beside the point. You give up like either your top or your second best prospect, depending on if you prefer Matt Short to Cam Smith, for 1 year of Kyle Tucker, and then at the trade deadline, like you're still in it. But you need another power bat. You need someone in the rotation once Justin Steele goes down injured so early on in the year, and you come back with fucking Willie Castro and Mike Soroka. It's like, oh, what are we doing?
Yeah, I feel you. You got to go all in, and it feel like you guys put the toe in the water, and now you're not gonna have nothing.
No,
Because
Tucker's going to go, and this at the end of this year, we haven't got too many players out of contract,
yeah,
other than Kyle Tucker. But come the end of next year, you've got Jameson Tyone coming off the books, you've got Ian Happ coming off the books, you've got Nico Horner coming off the books. I mean, I would give Nico Horner a 10-year contract right now. Gold Glove defense hits around 290, 300 each year. Sign me up.
you should. I mean, the Braves. I feel like have the best model for young talent. They don't waste any time. They snatch, like, think about it. Acuna is playing on like a $9 million a year deal. Like, I think Ozzy Albies, who he had a down year, but he's only getting like $6 or $7 million. When those kind of players don't have a good year, you don't feel as bad about it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not paying them anything anyway.
So. you don't feel, when Acuna tears his ACL, you're like, it hurts because it does hurt the team. But financially, you're like, $9 million, 10 is okay. It's all right. You can rest them up in here. I think, and I'm surprised more teams, especially smaller markets, because I feel like, honestly, like the Cubs, the Braves are a large market team that operates like a small market team.
Yeah.
I'm surprised more smaller market teams don't adopt that model of like, let's just pay them now so it's a lot cheaper. We can avoid arbitration and we can roll. Sorry.
I think most teams probably like to try that, but if I'm a player, like I'll take the Pittsburgh Pirates as an example and Paul Skeens. I mean, he's making like, I want to say 5% of probably what he's worth. Like
Yeah,
this guy could be on 50 million a year right now, but I bet he's like he'll still be on his rookie deal or a year removed from it. And I guess the point is, like, if I'm Paul Skeens, right, my head's not in the sand. I know that my owner is a total dick. I know he's not going to pay me. His agent's probably already got feelers out there with teams like the Dodgers and the Giants, maybe saying like, "Hey, Paul Skeens is going to be eligible for free agency in 5 years' time or whatever." Like, if he keeps it up, what sort of ballpark figures are we looking at? Similar with Tariq Skubal and the Tigers. I mean, start of last year, I think they offered him 140 million, and maybe I don't know how many years on the extension.
Yeah.
And it's reported now, he could be looking at like a Garrett Cole type of deal. Like, we're talking north of 300.
Well, the separation is he wants 10 for 500. Apparently, that's what it's being reported. Yeah. And that's a crazy amount, though. Like, I don't. Yeah, but I get it. I think that's negotiation. I don't think he believes that's what he's going to get. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this comment up. Shout out to King Matthew supporting the live. He's always on showing love. But $50 million. Look, I already feel a kind of way about pitchers. I like pitchers. I understand what they represent, but you only play every 5 days, bro.
Yeah, and that's part of it.
Like you only play 36 to 40 starts. You're talking over $1 million a start. I don't even know. I guess that goes back. Now that is where I can see like the ruining of baseball, right? When these stars get to these contracts that are just astronomical, and you only have the Dodgers and honestly the Mets, like the only teams that are like going to shoulder that load, even though it doesn't work out for the Mets the way that it works out for the Dodgers. I wonder if that's going to be the future, but I kind of want to talk about that later, though. I think the salary cap might hurt Paul Skeens, though. Like the CBA going forward, I think Paul Skeens is going to be late on this crazy train of money.
100%. We've had this debate on our podcast before, where it's like they're not going to have a salary. They're not going to have all the players want a salary floor, right? They want league minimum. The rookie. They don't want the rookies being taken the piss out of. Completely fair. You're not going to get the salary floor without a salary cap.
That's
It's
the
just
thing. I was talking. It's a tough realization because
yeah,
I like the idea of a floor without a cap.
yeah. I think everyone, unless you're one of the 30 MLB owners, maybe other than Steve Cohen because he seems to buy whatever he wants anyway. Um, so 29 owners will go, well, yeah, you can't have one without the other. And this is where it annoys me. So you've got players like Bryce Harper, right, coming to the end of his career. He's been paid, right?
Yep.
He's earned his dollars, whatever. He'll push for that salary floor because he wants to pave the way for the future. Absolutely, absolutely respect that. Bryce Harper, give or take him, but I respect the view. There should be a salary floor because he doesn't care about the salary cap. He's got his money. Someone
Yeah.
like Skeens or Scooble, maybe not, but let's say Paul Skeens is the example. He's still 3-4 years away from free agency, right? So he's not going to push for that salary floor because he knows that will harm his future earnings. So you've got these good young players who are kind of in the middle in a bit of limbo. Like, well, I know I could get paid stupid amounts, but I've got to sacrifice the salary floor. So I feel a bit bad for the players in the middle. When you've got players like Bryce Harper coming out saying, no, we need a salary floor, I'm going to go up and tell Rob Manfred what I think of him, say, you're not welcome in our clubhouse, blah, blah, blah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, as if you're going to do that to the commissioner, but whatever. And I agree with Bryce Harper's point. It's a totally different viewpoint. Bryce Harper is, I want to say, 3-4 years away from retirement, and
Yeah.
he's going to be paid the likes of someone like Shohei Ohtani comes out and says, yeah, we should definitely have a salary floor. That guy's already got his contract wrapped up, signed, sealed, delivered. It's yours. Congrats. So I think it's a bit not. I don't want to say hypocritical, but I think it's a bit rich coming from the guys that have already earned their money about wanting that salary floor because their thoughts and their comments are right, but the guys in the middle, your Paul Skeens, the Scoobles, if Carl Tucker was another year away from free agency, or Carl Tucker's, I can't think of any other positional names at the moment who haven't reached free agency, they're going to be the one that's harmed the most. But speaking from a fan, absolutely they should have a salary floor and no cap.
Yeah.
That would be my ideal.
Yeah, that's a great point that you made, and I'm gonna say this, and we're not gonna get into politics, but I feel like that about like old politicians that make laws and changes, and it's like, bro, that stuff is gonna affect like your grandkids. You're
Yep.
probably not gonna be here for that. And that's another thing I didn't think about is like Bryce Harper, you're on the back end.
Yeah.
You're on the back end. And that happened, I wouldn't say recently, but it happened in the NFL around like 2010, 2011. Like rookies was coming in making a lot of money. Their rookie contract was crazy. I think like Sam Bradford was making more money his rookie year than Peyton Manning. And they were
Yeah,
like, that's great. That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. And I'm sure Cam Newton was in college, like, hold off 1 year because the year he got drafted, they put a major cap on rookie contracts. And he went, and Sam Bradford made, I think, like 40, 50 million at his signing bonus. And Cam Newton's whole contract was $22 million.
Yeah, see how that worked out.
So I would hope it's some young voices that are paying attention and are trying to be in the CBA negotiations because this is going to affect them way more than it's going to affect, like you say, the Paul Skeens, the Garrett Coles have gotten paid. Hell, Mookie Betts has gotten paid. Freddie Freeman, like these guys, the pillars, they're already paid. That's why they're the pillars of the league.
But should they get a say in negotiations? I don't think they should.
No,
I
I don't
think it
think
should.
so.
I think it should be. I think it should be if you haven't reached free agency, if you're still in arbitration, pre-arb, rookie, put them to a vote. Don't let the older players vote because all that's going to happen is they're going to vote for the floor. They're going to vote for the salary floor, and the owners are going to turn around and be like, "Well, you can't have one without the other," and you've already been paid. If it's more the rookies and the guys who are in the middle voting, the votes will have a lot more sway. It will actually mean a bit more coming from them, in my opinion.
I think the older guys should be in there for maybe guidance, cachet,
Mm.
and they've been through this before, right? So I think they should definitely be involved. But I agree, I don't think they should have the final vote. Like they should, offer a lot of counsel, a lot of advice, but the
Yeah.
vote goes to us.
Well, you know where the vote's going to end up going, and that's going to be to whoever pays the most money. So
Yeah.
probably the Dodgers. So
Oh, don't be hating on the Dodgers, man. Don't be hating on the
I,
Dodgers.
I will say this: I respect the play. Like I don't dislike the players. Like Atani, absolute magician with the bat and the ball.
Yeah.
Love Freddie Freeman. Love Mookie Betts. Yamamoto is a dangerous pitcher. Blake Snell, don't really like him, but I feel quite justified in that one.
No Blake Snell love?
Not, he just seems like a bit of a dick. Like he's a good player, but
Yeah.
seems like a bit of a dick. But so the Dodgers as a players, I also don't like Teoscar Hernandez. I think he's a bit overrated. But again, as a person, seems completely fine. I think Otani's probably one of the nicest guys in baseball. I've got no doubt about that.
Probably.
Absolutely love his dog Decoy. I think his dog's great. But
You
as an
even,
all round,
you even compliment them like you don't like them. Like
yeah,
he's probably a nice guy. His dog is cool.
his dog seems cool. His dog can
So,
throw out the first pitch.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I know dogs that can't even find their own asshole. Um,
mine included.
Hey man, shout out. What kind of dog you got?
I've got a greyhound. Her name's Boo. She appears on our podcast. We've got one segment called Boo's Hot Takes.
Hey,
So she gets us some hot takes in the week that we can chat about.
nice.
She's normally behind me when I'm recording, but she's a run off somewhere else tonight.
Do you use her to make like predictions, like game predictions?
We did it for the work. We did it for the playoffs last year. So we had
Yeah.
to choose between which team we're going to win using bits of chicken. And I'm proud to say she didn't get a single one right, but she got a lot of chicken. So
hey, shout out. She's happy.
Yeah, that's
She
the main
won.
thing.
If anybody was using this for gambling purposes, you lost. But she won. All right. But you should do it this year and tell people just go with the opposite. Like just
Yeah, she went with the Cubs to win everything. So
well, that's a smart dog in your house, right? She knows where the food comes from.
yeah, good girl. But have some more chicken.
Yeah. Actually, funny enough, when I did a preseason podcast on baseball, I picked the Cubs to win the Central. And
I think everyone did, to be fair.
They were, and I thought Kyle Tucker was going to like compete for the MVP. I didn't think he would be the MVP. And PCA was more so in those conversations than Kyle Tucker. Was that a surprise for you?
Yeah, 100%. Like everyone knew that PCA could field, right? He could sleepwalk his way to the Gold Glove in center field. But the way he started the year, the first half was out of this world. Like 30 home runs in the end. I think 27 of them before the All-Star break or something stupid like that. Like for the first 2 months, I think he was better than Shohei Ohtani. It's only when Ohtani got back on the mound, you're then like, I also think he was hitting it better than Ohtani. But as soon as Shohei got back on the mound, it was game over. Like,
yeah,
it's not even close.
It's not fair when he's pitching.
No, it's not. Him pitching and then hitting 3 home runs in the same game in a championship series game is just like, come on, what are we doing?
I saw CC Sabathia a quote on Shohei Ohtani, and it's true because I have kids and I have a son that's in high school right now, and he still plays rec ball and everything. He's doing what the best kids in Little League do, and he's doing it at the highest level.
Yeah,
like you could see a 12, 13-year-old go like hit home runs, mow people down, playing against other kids. They're not all as good. They might not train. They might not do this, that, and the third. But all of these people get paid to play baseball that Ohtani's doing this against.
Yeah, he is ridiculously good. There's no second guessing it, no sugarcoating it. The man is the best player currently in the game. Best one to have ever played it, you could maybe argue. I know people are going to say Babe Ruth and maybe Barry Bonds is the best hitter with or without his, potential juicing. But
yeah,
the best player to do, the standard of baseball since when Babe Ruth was playing has improved so much. Like,
Well, that's why I can't put Babe Ruth in there. Like
no,
honestly,
no. And Dan will come on and argue Babe Ruth till the cows come home, and that's completely fair.
I,
But it's a different time and place. If you time traveled and put Babe Ruth in today's game,
he'll
a
be DFA.
yeah, he would he'd probably shit himself because he'd be like, what am I doing here? I've just time traveled 100 years. But also, it's like the pitching's just so much faster. You know, he let's be fair, he wasn't the most athletic guy. You know, he's not
Yeah,
going to be scrambling out those infield singles unless maybe Rowdy Tellez is playing second base or shortstop. But
yeah. Can you imagine Aroldis Chapman pitching to Babe Ruth? Like, that's the one thing I'm gonna try and look that up. Like, what was the average speed of a fastball when Babe Ruth was playing? Right?
I bet you it's the same average speed as Chapman throwing a curveball with his weak hand.
With his weak hand,
Yeah,
probably. Right?
he
So
was
it's
pretty
like,
strike me out.
I and yeah, I don't think he does anything. Is a 14-year-old right now in the Dominican Republic that will mow Babe Ruth down.
Oh, 100%.
Like it wouldn't even 1, 2, 3 punched out. Then you got shorter, you got smaller fields. Is a lot. Is a lot. Is a lot of factors that. Hey man, but that's supposed to be evolution, right?
Yeah, and
Things get better.
it's part of the game.
Things get better, and I feel like that with all sports. I find myself arguing that a lot across sports of like, hey guys, we might have to let it go. Like whatever the past was, we might have to let it go. Guys are bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, like if you look at the average player in MLB, so I'm not talking about the Atanis or the judges. You know, the average MLB player, he would probably have got 50 home runs a season 30 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think I don't even think that's wild to take. Maybe not 50, maybe 30 home runs. I'm thinking of someone like Kevin Pillar, for example, who retired this year. Just randomly came to my head.
yeah,
The guy's getting like 12, 15 home runs on average a season. Stick him in 20 years ago, he's probably getting 25, 30.
yeah.
So
But
that's
what would their batting average be though?
yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, well, probably less because no one really bats for average.
Yeah,
You know, it's like Trey Turner won the batting title in the National League, and everyone was just like, okay,
that was the lowest ever. And as a Yankees fan, find time for the batting average not to matter.
yeah,
I look back and think about 2017, and I think about Aaron Judge not being the Rookie of the Year and the MVP because Jose Altuve. Hey, we lost Gary. But yeah, craziness. Let's see if we get these guys back on, man. Love going live. While we're here. Shout out to Tupac. Oh, I forgot his name there. Shout out to Tupac. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. I gotta see what I'm gonna get next. Gotta be sports related though. Probably give me like some Panthers, some Lakers. Might keep it West Coast. Shout out my boy Marty with the dope hat. Bow, that bit fire. Bow, that bit fire. Lord, oh wait, he probably emailed. One sec, guys. Hey, man. Here we go. Man. He's out. We got 2-minute warning, 2-minute delay. Wish I had a pause button on here. Oh, we got Dan. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Tony?
I'm good, man. You're like right on time to miss Gary. He just had a power outage.
No kidding. Oh no.
Yeah, he said he literally just randomly went out, and he emailed me just now. He's like he's rebooting. Give him 2 minutes. How are you doing?
Good. How about yourself? Sorry about coming in late here.
It's fine, man. Hey, man, as somebody who works, I get it. I
Yep.
get it, man. We were talking about his Cubs. We were talking a little bit. He feels like the Dodgers are ruining baseball.
Okay. Same old Gary. Okay.
Yeah, typical. We were currently talking about Babe Ruth not being the best baseball player ever.
Okay.
And
What is Otani? Were you guys doing the old Otani for Babe Ruth? Is that the new?
well, I feel like Otani has overtaken. It wasn't Babe Ruth for me. It was Barry Bonds.
Okay.
But I feel like Otani, the pitching, we just come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, and me personally, I feel like any argument, case was closed. Game 4 of the LCS. That was video game like.
Yeah. No, legit.
Like that's stuff people do when they're playing against lesser competition.
No, it is. I literally, that's like the one game I missed of that series. And then, like, I saw, like, the box score, and I was like, no, that's like a video. Like, yeah, 3 home runs, and then you strike out. Like, that's like a my player, right? You know, like a two-way player in MLB The Show.
Exactly.
I was like, dude, I was like, I had to go back and watch the highlights, of course. Maybe I need to miss more Dodgers games, and they'll continue. Otani will do that. But no, to touch on Babe Ruth, I am a Babe Ruth defender, oddly, as a Mets fan. But I just look at his WAR back then. Like, he was hitting all these home runs when no one was even kind of close. But I think comparing guys to ages back then, it's probably not fair to either of them because Babe Ruth wasn't pitching all the time. You know, he just switched to hitting full time. No one's really done what Otani is doing now, right?
Yeah.
I think you could. I like you said Barry Bonds because that. Yeah, I agree. He's like arguably the best hitter in baseball, maybe before Otani. And the fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame is ridiculous to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you know, I think something about Barry Bonds that people don't talk about is he won a few Gold Gloves too.
Yeah,
like he just hit so well that we forget about that. But he was pretty good in the field.
And used to steal bases too.
Used to steal bases. He's the only member of the I think it was
40,
like the
40, right?
No, it's like 400 club or something.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah. I want to say, I know it's at least 400. I want to say it climbs to like 500 club. Like it gets crazy with the Barry Bonds stats. Like when you really start like zooming out and looking at all the stuff that he's done.
400. Gee, yeah, I wonder. I was about to say, I wonder how many guys have done that in totality.
No, nobody. He's the only member of the club.
Well, I just know another reason why I like Barry Bonds because when he wanted to do a 40-40 season, but no one was paying attention to him when he did it because he wanted to be a complete baseball player. They all cared about Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa hitting home runs. So, out of spite, he was like, "Okay, that's what you care about. I can hit more home runs than those guys," and then he did. Right? It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, we always, me and my cousins, we always say that. Like Barry was like, you know what? If you think steroids made them good, watch what it's going to do to me. Because I was better than them. So now I'm going to be on an even playing field with them again to show you that I'm better than them. And I'm going to go win 4 MVPs in a row.
100%. And I think what people forget about that too, the whole steroid era, which I wish Gary would. We got to get his power back on. But he likes to, not. Anyway, I'd like to see his opinion on this. But people forget the pitchers were using steroids too.
Roger Clemens.
Yeah, it was one of the most juice guys on the planet. So it's not like just a hitter's advantage, right?
Yeah. And guess what, man? If you ever try to hit a baseball, I don't care how much steroids you take. That hand-eye coordination has to be elite. Elite. And look, Barry Bonds, it did get him the home run record. But he still was going to have 500 plus home runs anyway. It's like...
Yeah, I mean, his trajectory, his career, exactly.
It's like he still was going to be one of the best to ever do it just based off of that. Like you said, he stole bases. He played in the outfield. So, like, my thing, and I'm thinking about it, and I was telling Gary this, like, I like having these conversations because as we're talking... Welcome back, Gary.
I am so sorry. I forgot.
No, you're good. You're good. But as we're having these conversations, I can think about it more. Is the same people that voted for Barry Bonds to be the MVP are not voting for him to be in the Hall of Fame, which is crazy. Like if he was good enough to be your MVP in the early 2000s, don't act brand new now, guys. Let my man in the hall. It's nothing but a big museum. You got to tell the story. He's part of the story of baseball.
I feel like we're going to agree on this. Where I think the whole Hall of Fame thing is such a farce, just the way it works. Like, first of all, Ichiro Suzuki not being unanimous is a joke. But then on the wider point, with the likes of Barry Bonds and to another extent, sort of Pete Rose, like they played the game of baseball, right? Regardless of what they've either rumored or admitted to have been doing, they're still one of the greatest players to have ever done it. And in my opinion, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed. I will say this though. Out of all the American major sports, baseball gets it right more than any other sport. Like when it comes to Hall of Fame, when it comes to awards, like in-season awards, I think baseball gets it right more than anybody. Because I think about like the NBA, the NFL, they have to let people in. Like so, recently, it's been some people in the NFL that's been like questionable because it's like you just putting people in. Mm-hmm. Where I like that baseball would be like nobody's good enough right now.
Yeah,
this is an elite club. Like I'm sorry, y'all, you can't get in.
No, Tony, 100%. I don't want to cut you off, but 100%. I think it speaks to how hard it is in baseball. Like, there's an All NBA third team, right? Yeah. Or like you'd be on the All NBA defensive third team. Like, I don't think there's an All NBA, MLB third team out there. It's just, are you Gold Glove, right? That's hard enough. Being a Silver Slugger, that's hard enough. Winning a World Series, that's hard enough. I think recently with like the more wild card slots, maybe they are trying to make it a little more. I don't know. They are introducing not too many awards. Like I think Rookie of the Year is great and stuff like that. But I don't know. I hope it doesn't. I'm worried it might be starting to shift like all the other ones where they maybe glamorize a little too much and hand out some of those participation trophies.
Nah, I hope not. Keep it old school in that right.
Yep, got to be old school.
In that right. No other
reason. I pose this question, Chico. Currently, I mean, I can think of maybe two names off the top of my head, but which current MLB players do you think are a lock for the Hall of Fame? And I'll give you the two. I think Shohei Ohtani and I think Aaron Judge. And I'll give you a third, Mike Trout. I think those three are probably certified going to be in the Hall of Fame. But which other players playing right now do you think would have a chance of making it?
I mean, other than Kobe Mayo.
Max Scherzer.
Scherzer. Yeah, that's a good one. Scherzer for sure.
Verlander.
Yeah, Verlander for sure.
Garrett Cole is fringe. Let's see what this year comes. You don't know Garrett Cole?
No, I like to hate on Cole. He was damn good on the Pirates. I can't hate him. He's a good pitcher. He's just on the Yankees now. I think fringe is fair.
Fringe right now. Let's see
how he comes. Will Juan Soto be a Hall of Famer?
Not at the moment, no.
Not in the moment. Yeah, not in the moment, but it's close. You know something that I'm gonna ask you about a player and like with Bryce Harper?
No, because the Nationals won after he left, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have the ring. Yeah.
No, I don't. Me personally, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, not right now. I think Bryce Harper is gonna have to get to the magic numbers. Like he's gonna have to get to 500 home runs. Like he's gonna have to reach those milestones where you be like, okay, yeah, that's a Hall of Famer. Just like Giancarlo Stanton. Like his body can't just fail him these last 2 years. If he get to 500 home runs, he has the MVP. If somehow the Yankees make their way to a World Series and he's on that team, I think he has the ingredients. So I say he's fringe, Bryce Harper's fringe, and I go Garrett Cole fringe right now.
I'll give you one more name, and that's Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers.
Oh yeah,
probably. But I guess with him, Scherzer, and JV Verlander, you're probably thinking they've done it. They've been and had their careers. I mean, realistically, Max Scherzer didn't have to pitch this year. Neither did Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
And look at Max Scherzer in the playoffs, in the championship series. He looked like he wanted to punch the manager when he was going to bring him out of the game. Just shows how good those players are. But then I'm talking about players in their prime at the moment. Is honestly, as we said, you have those fringe players like Stanton and Harper. But Judge, Trout, and Otani are probably going to make it. And then you look at the tier below, and we mentioned Juan Soto. Soto's got to do it for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll do it at this level for the next 10, 15 years.
Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. I think Mookie Betts gets in.
Has Mookie got 2 rings? Has he got one with the Red Sox?
He got one with the Red Sox. So
all round nice.
If you count, 2020 last year and then the Red Sox one, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Betts. He probably wouldn't be a first year ballot, but I can see him making it.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman, he has the 2. You got the Braves, you got the MVPs.
It's hard to argue against Freddie.
Yeah.
Both lovable guys as well. Like you'd love to, you would hate to see them. It's like if Ichiro wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. That level of like.
No, I mean, I'm not losing sleep if Freddie Freeman doesn't get in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I am. I think he's a nice guy.
I get it. As a Mets fan, I definitely get it.
Yeah, it's like those veneers, man. I don't know, something about them.
I get it. Well, I talked to Gary about him and his Cubs fandom. Now I got to talk about you because what the hell? First of all, I'll say this: I clown Mets fans all the time. So
That's fair.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense, but I'll let you do your thing. But it's even wilder that you like the Orioles and the Mets. So I do want to know, like, what made you a fan of those 2 teams?
Yeah, it's a question I get a lot, and I've dealt with it different ways. Sometimes people are more aggressive about it, but no, I'm not a bandwagon. But I don't think you can bandwagon with those 2 teams, right?
No.
Well, I grew up in Hampton Roads, Virginia, and our star player from our area was David Wright. And go figure, the local team here is the Tidewater Tides, Norfolk Tides now. But they played AAA baseball, and David Wright was on the Mets playing on their AAA team just down the street in Norfolk, Virginia. So, I mean, having that connection of David Wright from the area and then on the Mets, naturally I was a Mets fan. My first game was then at Shea Stadium when I was 12 years old in New York City, and I was like, there's nothing better than this. So falling in love with baseball is kind of coincidental with me falling in love with the Mets. As time goes on, baseball is a business, and the Tidewater Tides were sold to the Baltimore Orioles. And so I still follow the Mets. They're still my team. I love when the Syracuse Mets a little echo or something. I think we're good. Anyway, when they went to the Orioles, I started watching these guys like, Mountcastle, Cedric Mullins, and then more recently, Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Jackson Holiday. And over time, I was naturally just rooting for the Orioles as I was, watching them on TV and seeing all these guys I saw on the street. So eventually, a couple of years ago, I had to admit, I looked at my hat collection and it was like almost 50% Orioles and Mets hats. And I was like, okay, you're an Orioles and Mets fan at this point. I know that's a long response, but that's that's essentially how I got here. And this year I got double the disappointment. I was hoping it would, right? It's kind of just screwing myself at this point. I'm not sure. I see why people don't do this.
Yeah, it's tough. I've seen this multiple times on social media, but it's like a meme. It's like men pick a sports team at 12 or whatever age you pick the team, and let them upset you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a fact, because I'm never more frustrated than looking at my team do some dumb shit on the TV. Okay, but I'm never more excited than when I'm watching Aaron Judge smack a home run off the foul pole in Game 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh shit. But dang, man, I really wish you could be a Yankee, or like the Mets, and it's funny, as I grew up in a Yankees household, right? My dad's a Yankee fan, grew up watching Jeter, like those guys. So it was easy. Like, if it was up to them, I would like all New York teams. I did not pick up the Giants, didn't pick up the Knicks, but the Yankees were winning. So I'm going to go.
I love my Knicks.
I picked them to win the East. Well, be number 1 in the East, not necessarily win it. But I picked up the Yankees, and with that, I grew a little bit of hate for the Mets.
Yeah.
Because a large part of my family are Mets fans.
Hell yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's is always fun, and what I wanted for the Mets this year didn't really happen the way that I wanted it to, but it still happened. I wanted the Mets to have such an amazing season. Like I wanted you guys to win like 120 games. Like I wanted like something just crazy to happen, so you guys can lose in the NLDS.
I figured, which I thought was going to happen, to be honest. But
I wanted the roller coaster to go so high, but I think some of my hate has subsided because this season's over. I think it added a little more fuel. The Juan Soto comments after he went to the Mets, saying it was New York was a Mets town. He wants to be associated with winning. That kind of bothered me a little bit. You know, the Mets ain't won since the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, hey, you can leave.
To be fair, last 10 years we've been to the same amount of World Series, I believe. But
this is true.
It is true. I mean, I'm a Mets fan. Like you're the little brother, which I'm a middle child in my family. So I like the underdog. I like the Mets. Like they start off just being terrible and just owned it. When they won it, they're the miracle Mets for a reason. Like, yeah, you got to own it as a Mets fan. Yeah, Juan Soto, I'll be honest, like no one's thinking, even in New York, no one's like, yeah, the Mets are the most winning team in New York. Like no one's saying that.
That's tough. Hey, Gary, how bad do you guys go at each other on podcasts? Probably off a podcast. That's probably where it gets real dirty. When you guys got like a series against each other, like do you guys like heckle each other a lot?
We do when it's the thing with Dan is we probably get more heated when it's Mets Cubs, right?
Yeah,
we'll probably talk about it a bit more.
Yeah,
but when it's the Orioles, because I don't mind. I think the Orioles are a fun team to watch, so I quite like what. So when the Orioles and Cubs play each other, it's always like I can tell it means a bit more to Dan nowadays, but it doesn't get as heated. Whereas the Mets and Cubs have got a little bit more, history behind them.
And I thought we were going to be good this year. I thought, those games, I was like, oh, these are going to matter. But turns out they didn't.
You still beat us, but most teams did by the end of it.
Yeah. Andrew Kittredge, it's funny, that guy. He's either like, the best you've ever seen or like, oh, wow.
Well,
drunk uncle again.
You actually brought the nickname into the household with the drunk uncle. Because when he was in the playoffs, it's just like, he's casually just running a 95-mile-per-hour sweeper. But he could also have a pint in the other hand. It's just like absolutely wild to watch the man pitch.
Yeah, I hope he stays in the league. I know we've digressed a little bit on these questions, Tony, but this is, I think, how our podcast goes. And to answer it, we do heckle each other a little bit. The problem is Gary's 5 hours ahead. So half the time, if the game's past 7 p.m., he's like, no spoilers. I'm like, no, I want to message you about shit that just happened.
I've been meaning, I wanted to ask you about that, Gary. Like, how is your watch experience? So, like, you basically watch the games the next morning?
Occasionally. So if it's the regular season, the Cubs luckily are like the only team outside of. Well, I think we're the only team. We have like 1:20 start times a lot of the time at home. Yeah. So that ends up being 7:20 over in the UK in the evening. So I can normally catch like home games.
Gotcha.
Sunday games are normally all right because most games start early and the Cubs are never really on prime time. Where it does get a little bit, anytime we play on the West Coast, other than a Sunday, anytime, during the week. A lot of it is I watch the highlights the day after. There's 162 games. If it falls on a weekend, I'll watch the whole game the morning after. Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't do this as my full-time job. If I did, I'd love to just wake up at 8 o'clock, watch the whole game, then, put out a load of stuff on social media about it. But you've got to work to pay the bill. So I normally catch the highlights.
Gotcha.
The condensed game. If it's like a series I care about, like if we're playing the Yankees or the Cardinals, or someone like that, I'll probably watch that whole game, or like I'll watch it on replay, but I'll skip between the innings. Or when Shota Minaga gives up a home run, I'll just skip past that part as well.
Did a lot of that towards the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, it happened a fucking ton towards the end of it. Excuse my French. Yeah, the viewing experience is fine. I mean, my girlfriend's a Cubs fan. That's how I got into it. So we'll sit there on a Saturday morning and catch the highlights from the night before. But we'll just sit there and watch the whole game for like an hour and a half. When it came to the playoffs, because the Cubs Padres, for some reason, no one cared about it because there was these teams called the Yankees and the Red Sox going at it, which made my life a lot easier. I actually managed to watch all 3 of those games live. Which was
because you guys played right before the Yankees.
Yeah, so we'd be on at like 9 o'clock start time. And I mean, that last game, Probably didn't get to bed till about 1 o'clock, and then I was too amped from winning, so I didn't really sleep that well that night. But the timings being a Cubs fan just sort of aligns. But the viewing experience is good. I mean, I don't have city blackouts either, which I think is a big bugbear for people in the US. Where like I've tried to watch, Emily's got my girlfriend's from Chicago. She's still got some family over there. We went over a couple of years ago trying to catch the game, and because they didn't have marquee television, there was a media blackout on MLB TV. So we had to go to the bar to watch it, which I think is a bit wrong. And I know they're trying to phase that out. But I think the viewing experience for the UK fans is as good as you want to make it. I just need to stay off my phone for the first 4 hours of the morning.
I feel you. Yeah, blackouts suck. Being in Florida, in Orlando, every time the Yankees come down to play Tampa, luckily I have cable. But like if I'm out and I want to pull it up on my phone on the MLB app, not happening.
Yeah.
Got to like go old school and listen to the radio. Wow.
And then God forbid it's on Apple TV. It's like, oh, now I need another one. Like, oh my, we got to stop it.
Look, I'm sick of all sports leagues pouring out all these games, man. It's getting crazy. NFL, they're on Apple TV now. You got Peacock, you got ESPN. Christmas game's gonna be on Netflix. Come on, guys.
Like, at least I have Netflix. But yeah, I did not know that. Dang on.
The Christmas game's gonna be on Netflix. You see, opening day next year for MLB is gonna be on Netflix.
I can't wait. I've got Netflix.
Yeah. Yankees Giants is the opening day. Well, opening night before opening day, and it's gonna be on Netflix. Home Run Derby is gonna be on Netflix next year.
Well, I might debate Yankees that game. Giants are gonna have a college coach as their manager, apparently. Which, whatever, maybe that's, to me, it screams like the NFL equivalent would be like Mike McDaniel. Like you just got Mike McDaniel and you think this is gonna work.
You know what? I'm gonna trust Buster Posey. I was a huge Buster Posey fan as a player. He's a catcher. Okay. They're normally the smart baseball minds. I'm gonna trust Buster for now. I'm gonna trust him until he show me out. I can't trust him anymore.
That's fair. Catchers also get hit in the head a lot, though. So I don't.
Yeah, he is the guy who made them change the play at the plate rule. So he might have a couple screws loose up there, man. Might have a couple of screws loose. We could talk some changes. I saw you guys talking about it, and I want to have it expressed on my platform about the future of baseball. Yeah. I do want to talk like realignment. How do you guys feel about it? Do you think that'll help the game? Do you think it'll hurt the game? Like, we'll start with Gary. Go ahead. You can start.
Oh, fantastic. On the basis that they want to expand, yes, you need to realign the divisions. If we're talking about expansion, I'd much rather we move some existing teams to other markets. So I think we need a team in Portland. I'd argue and say that, the Pittsburgh Pirates ownership haven't really treated them very well. So maybe, no, I'm joking. I love PNC Park. How'd you both go in there?
Wait, what?
I look, if they're going to expand, they need to realign the divisions. Mathematically, if you're going to add 2 more teams, you can't have 2 divisions with 6 teams and the other 4 with 5. It's just not going to work. I think it's a shame because I think people have sort of grown up with a few rivalries that are honestly in a lot of danger of subsiding. There's also that whole National League, American League difference where, like, apart from the Astros changing a few years ago, the Yankees have always realistically been an American League team historically. The Cubs have always been a National League team.
Is there even a difference anymore, though, with no DH? It doesn't even matter, right?
Yeah, no, there isn't. But, for history's sake, like, if the Cubs, let's say the Dodgers went over to the American League, with respect, at the moment, the American League, they're probably winning it every year, that pennant. That's how, like, the Blue Jays are obviously having a really good year, and I hope the Blue Jays win the World Series, but I think the overall standard is higher in the National League than it is the American League. I think the American League, you've got the Yankees at the top with probably the Astros, the Blue Jays at the moment. I mean, the AL Central is just a bunch of mid. The NL Central at least has the Brewers and the Cubs. So I think there's that whole historic landmark of, we don't want to become an AL club or the NL club. But you could lose some good series. Like you could be in a place where the Cubs and Cardinals don't play each other.
No, they're going to play. because I think you got the balanced schedule now.
Yeah,
Now
but
they will play 14 times.
that's the thing. Like everyone loves Cubs Cardinals because they play 17 times a year, and the
Yeah,
whole thing is they're in the same division, so it's an interdivision rivalry. It's
yeah.
not like a historic thing. It is a historic thing as well. If you take the Cincinnati Reds out of the division, I don't care. They
I
can,
mean,
they can go.
Yankees Mets, they only play like what, 6 times throughout the year? 2, 3
Yeah,
game series, right?
2-3 game series.
But like it's still hype, it's just it's a little less.
yeah, but would you not want more hype? Would you not
I'm
love it to play the Yankees
Yeah,
every
that's
week?
fair.
Nah, man, you give them a little bit.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit because honestly, I feel like a series like the Cardinals and Cubs, they'd be all right with just 6 games because it's so much history. You know what I'm saying? Where
It makes it more special.
yeah,
Yeah, but I don't think the fan bases would. I don't think the fan base would like that. Like for me, it's as I said, I've been watching baseball 3 years. Fine, if they play each other 13 times rather than 17 times, or however many it is, fine. It might actually be 13 now, actually.
Yeah.
But someone who's been following, it's 13. I don't know where I got 17. Was it before? But if you talk to someone who's been following the Cubs for 30 years, they love playing the Cardinals so much. It's like a big rivalry, and but as you said, like the Yankees and Mets play each other 6 times a year. That's what you're used to. If you were playing each other 20 times a year, you would not want to go down to 6.
Yeah, please no.
Vice
I mean,
versa.
I love beating the Yankees, and we had y'all's number, but no, we're good. I don't need 20.
Yeah,
It's like vice versa. If you're playing each other 6 times a year, you don't want to go up to 17, which is exactly where we're talking about. If we were talking about the Yankees and Red Sox, Tony, as a Yankees fan, do you love playing the Red Sox so much?
not this year,
We
but
Yeah.
yeah, it is great for baseball. Like you get the Sunday night games, like it's especially because it actually did mean more this year. They was battling for a wild card spot. So yeah,
Exactly. And let's say you only play them 6 times a year. Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure most Yankees fans probably love beating the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium. Instead of only doing it 8 times, you only get to do it 3 times. For me, that's detracting from the fans.
I get that, and it's probably the games would be in like the least meaningful point of the season, right? Like we don't play the Mets after August.
Yeah.
No.
So like I definitely understand that because if all else fails, right? Like let's say the Cubs are on the way to losing 100 games. If you guys can stop the Cardinals from going to the playoffs, hell yeah, let's do it.
Just like the Marlins this year with the Mets.
Yeah.
Celebrating like they won the World Series.
The Mets commentators were so mad.
Well, just wait. I know. I was like, bro, like you let them do that. I'm sorry, they're like, oh, they push their pitchers back. It was like, bro, like it's baseball. Go out there and win. Also,
Exactly.
it's been 162 games. 162 games, and we're letting the Marlins end our playoff hopes in a 3-game series with the second highest payroll in baseball. I think we got bigger fucking issues.
Agreed.
Anyway, I don't feel strongly about that at all.
No, that's cool. How you feel about conference realignment? Well, divisional realignment. I'm so used to.
I think it does need to make more sense a little bit more like geographically. Like right now, for like I did subscribe to Masson, but it says like the Nationals and the Orioles are my home team. And I was like, okay, how is it both? But it was like, if they are that close, why are they not in the same division? Like it doesn't make sense for a lot of these teams. And originally I was like, just leave it as it is. But as I was watching that 86 Mets documentary, the Cardinals used to be in the Mets division, which I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, so, Gary, you're talking about you need all these games. I mean, hey, technically, if you have a Cardinals fan 60 years or a Cubs fan 60 years, maybe they don't feel the same. But I had no idea the Astros were in the NL. So I'm like, oh, they've been messing around with this shit before. I guess they can mess around with it again. I agree with Gary. If there's an expansion, you're going to do a little realignment. But I'm not a traditionalist in the baseball sense. But like I wanted to keep keep the pitcher hitting. I kind of liked it. I get why, but I liked it. And so sometimes with changes, I'm like, I get there could be a realignment, but do I trust Rob Manfred? Like, no, I feel like I'm going to hate it. Whatever he does, I'm going to hate it.
Hey, we've been told we need to speak nice about Rob Manfred. So.
Oh, he's going to shut us down?
Oh, we'll get onto it offline, but
he sent us a cease and desist.
No, I've just heard rumors from other content creators in the game. Like, if you talk shit about Rob Manfred, then MLB won't touch you with a barge pole. So, to be honest, we're probably already fucked.
Yeah, well, I agree. I wish they went back to the pitcher hitting for the NL, but I do feel like once they did away with that, to hell with everything else,
Yeah.
because it's really but when they did away with the pitcher hitting in the NL and they went to this balanced schedule, what's the difference outside of the playoffs? Like, and I love those things because I like that the World Series had a home field advantage. Is none of that. I mean, field wise, yes, and I always say baseball has the best home field advantage because every field is different. But strategically, you just got to be a better manager than the other. But you're not bringing nothing new to the table because we're used to Blake Snell hitting every fifth day. We're used to, now Paul Skeens hitting every fifth day, like any NL pitcher. I think about Jose Fernandez when he was in, rest in peace, but when he was in Miami, he would go yard.
Yeah. The
Like,
Bartolo Colon home runs. I mean, dude, like imagine we didn't have that.
come on, man. CC Sabathia, when he was in Milwaukee, he had like a 2 home run game. Like how do you game plan for that? And then your pitcher comes, American League pitcher comes, and he's probably not even taking the bat off his shoulder.
No.
Like, we had AL pitchers walking up with jackets on. With jackets.
I'd love to see those old videos.
But that was part of the game, and that's part of what made NL different. And you better come ready to play. You better have a pitcher over there that can hit.
Yeah.
After the
That's
fifth
baseball, or that can lay down a bunt or do something, right? It's like those little intricacies. And then also we got more pinch hitters with that. I love the pinch hitter. Now I feel like it's all so scripted. All right, we're gonna pull him in this inning. We're gonna have this guy do a pinch hit. Then we're gonna go to this guy out of the bullpen. Then we're going to this guy. It's like, well, sometimes shit happens. That's life. That was baseball. I don't know. Yeah, you're getting me fired up again. I'm gonna start talking about Rob Manfred shortly, but no. I miss those intricacies. I miss the changes, the differences. If they ever make all ballparks the same size, that's when I riot.
Yeah, I might be done away with it. But still speaking future of baseball, I asked Gary about the salary cap situation. You as a Mets fan, I'm pretty sure you don't give a damn about no salary cap.
Yeah, just spend more, peasants. No, I get it. The Rockies can't compete with the Dodgers.
Yes, they can.
They can sell the team, right?
You can sell the team.
Sell the team.
One second. Hold on 1 second. I'd be damned if these owners act like they're not making bank. Like, I don't know how they've confused people or tried to make them feel like they're not making dough. They're rich as hell.
In taxpayer subsidized stadiums. I know. I get. They're like, yeah. Well, which city's going to pay us the most to have my professional sports team there? I'm like,
come on, man.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do I get like a discount on like the ticket price or anything?
No,
I'm with you. If you're not going to spend and try to be competitive, I mean, that's kind of my gripe with the Orioles as an Orioles fan. Like, you like Corbin Burns walk, but I guess in hindsight that was not a bad idea. But hell, Max Fried was available, right? Imagine Max Fried in Baltimore. I imagine he'd probably still be pretty good, even if he wasn't in a Yankees uniform or Braves uniform. I need to stop talking so highly of Max because he hates the Mets. But anyway, yeah, you just the difference is spend more. But I think the problem too is the lockouts upcoming, and then you had some real bad deals. I'll say. I mean, look at like the Wander Franco, although they'll probably get out of that. But now teams, I think, are hesitant. I mean, why is Junior Caminero not getting the long-term deal? Teams are not spending before the lockout. I think a lockout is going to happen. And then this idea that there's going to be a salary cap, you can't do that without a floor. And then first of all, who in the hell in the MLBPA is going to agree to a salary cap? I mean, it's just not when there's these impending free agents. They're like, you got what? Like, why would I cap myself when you just signed for $760 million, Juan Soto?
Can be 805. Let's not forget that. It can get up to 805.
Yeah, and he's not a bad player. I like Juan, but I mean, We're the Mets, so we're just kind of setting this all up to age terribly, aren't we?
I mean, in 5 years, he's going to be a DH.
Maybe
Five?
less. Maybe less than that.
I'm being generous. In 5
He's
years,
yeah.
5 years he's going to be a DH. In 5 years, he gets a $5 million kicker to add on to this salary, where he gets an extra $5 million a year to be a DH. Shout out to the Mets. I love it. I love
We'll
it.
see though. Or we win the World Series next year. We'll see what happens.
Hey, you know what? If you win a World Series early in your contract, the back end doesn't feel as bad. You know, you always go back to be like, well, remember 2026. You know, but we'll see. We'll see. You guys gotta get some pitching.
I don't know. We have future Hall of Famer Nolan McLean. Quote me on that. And Brandon Sproat. He maybe not a first ballot, but
Sproat goat.
yeah. Those two guys are good. Yeah, the rest of the team. If I ever see, no offense to him, might be a nice guy, but I mean this with all sincerity. If I ever see Tyler McGill pitch in a Mets uniform again, I mean, I swear, I can't do it with some of these guys we bring out there. And we spend all this money to just have some atrocious pitching. But anyway, I'm starting to get bitter by the end of this episode, I feel like.
Sorry.
Mets are going to win it all next year. Orioles will be back in the playoffs. The future of the league is bright. I love Rob Manfred. Don't you, Gary?
Yeah, he's my favorite ever. Yeah.
He's your favorite. All right. I do need this, though. I need World Series predictions.
Oof.
That's right. Gary, how many games? Who wins it?
Blue Jays.
Do you believe that, Gary, or are you being a hater?
No, it's more what I want, but I believe it can happen.
Okay.
I had Blue Jays winning. I had Blue Jays going to the World Series against the Cubs in my prediction.
Okay.
But yeah, I do. I would prefer. I think the world would prefer if the Blue Jays won, personally. Also, a special shout out. This is the first World Series in like 30 years where it's actually two teams outside of. There's one team outside the US competing. So it actually feels more of a World Series than just two American teams going at it.
Gotta love that.
Blue Jays. I'm going to go Blue Jays in 6 purely because Yamamoto will pitch and Ohtani, and I think they can be tough. But I think you can get to Blake Snell, and I think you can get to Glasnow. So I'm going to go Blue Jays in 6.
Gotcha. Dan. Oh
You
yeah.
know, like in February, I got Gary B. In February, I'm going to pull up the tweet. I said Dalton Varsho will be Mr. October because I was raking with him in franchise mode on MLB The Show, and it just felt right. And sure enough, I don't know if he's quite Mr. October, but he's been hitting well, and the Blue Jays are in the freaking World Series. So it's like my heart is telling me Blue Jays in 7, because Gary, 6. I mean,
oh, that would just be to annoy everyone.
And they are hot. They're hot, and maybe there's a little rust on the Dodgers. So yeah, even if they get past Blake, but I was just looking at the numbers again, and not with my heart. I'm going like, I hate to say it, maybe the Blue Jays can push them to 6, but Dodgers in 5. I mean, they're the Dodgers, and now they're getting like Ohtani is literally. He's just been saving it to peak at the right time. We cannot keep underestimating this robot. He bet on them to win the World Series way before the season. He's cashing that ticket. Dodgers in 5.
In 5. I think the Dodgers win. And I think the Dodgers win in 6. And I'm just gonna put respect on the Blue Jays because they beat my Yankees. And they're a good team. Like they're a good team. And baseball is oddly enough a sport where, how can I put it? You can get more Cinderella stories. Like football, you're not going to get too many Cinderella stories. And basketball, you're not going to really, like in professional basketball, you're not going to get too many Cinderella stories. Baseball, you still can. So I think Toronto can have like some postseason magic to get a couple wins. But the Dodgers are hotter now than they've been all season. And that's scary. Like they're literally playing their best baseball going into the World Series.
Yeah.
And that is scary. I had text my cousins that were in the group chat, and I was like, they waited all year to give us Roki Sasaki to close in the playoffs. Like they literally was like, we don't even have to unleash this yet. You figure it out in the minors. You tweak your game. We know where we're going to use you. And here we go. Deploy our future closer for like the next 10 to 12 years. You get them now. You see them now, which is crazy, man. So yeah, give me the Dodgers in 6. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5 though.
And Blue Jays prove me wrong. I'm totally for it. I'm not saying, if I was a betting man, but I am, and I am placing these bets. I'll probably take Blue Jays in 7, and then a little side punt on Dodgers in 5. It's just going to be tough. But hell, I would love for the Blue Jays to make a run.
I hate to say it, but I'm one of the memes. As a Yankees fan, I hope both of y'all lose. I don't know how it can happen. Everybody get non-life threatening injuries, like a bunch of pulled hamstrings. Just get like 40, 80 pulled hamstrings, and like let's not have the World Series this year.
If it went 7 games and then just kept going into extra innings, and I'm talking like they're at like 25. I mean, what do they do then, right?
Yeah,
Dave Roberts pinch hit.
Yeah, that we're talking.
Hey, so that's when the managers got to get in. Don Mattingly, who's the hitting coach for Toronto.
Oh man,
let's see if you still got it. You know what I'm saying? Dave Roberts.
He can probably steal some bases. He can probably steal some bases.
Coaches got to get busy now. Like the players have done all they could do. All they could do, man. But we're gonna wrap this up. I got youth baseball to get to. My son's playing in high school today. Nice. You guys let everybody know where they can find you. Gary, Dan. Gary, you take over. You let them know where they can find the Instagram.
Yeah, so we're despite Dan not being famously British, there are 3 of us. 2 of us are British, 1 of us is American. We are the team. We are called A Brit Does Baseball. You can find us on Instagram at A Brit Does Baseball. You can find us at TikTok at A Brit Does Baseball. We have a blog where there's a link through the Instagram, but you can catch our podcast episodes on Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, even though YouTube don't like us as much as the other 2. But yeah, we're all around. So if you just search for Brit Does Baseball on Instagram, you'll find all the links to our social medias there. I run the Instagram, Dan runs the TikTok. So if you ever see us sort of posting anything and you want to reach out, just drop us a DM. This is how Tony and Dan linked up for this episode.
That is how it happened. Dan, why y'all getting in trouble on YouTube?
You gotta ask Gary for that about that. Actually, funny enough.
I'm sorry, I'm asking the wrong guy.
And I was like, I can translate what Gary just said there, but yeah, at A Brit Does Baseball. No, and then also I'm at Sportsman Dan. If anybody's into baseball cards and card collecting, I do that on the side a little bit. But no, Tony, thanks for having us on. This was a lot of fun. We're going to bring you on A Brit Does Baseball. I think these free form sort of discussions are like one of my most favorite things to do.
I love it. I got to have all 3 of you guys on, so we can really get into it. And when I don't have something after, so we can really just chop it up and really because I can talk. We can do this. We can.
Oh, you love Cal. Cal is I guess he makes us look tame. To be honest with you, he's got some opinions.
There we go.
If you think I hate the Dodgers, just wait till you get Cal on the episode.
I don't mind. Hey, I don't mind talking to a hater. It's all good. But guys, anybody's watching, anybody who's going to watch, going forward this, I'm going to say what I always say, what anybody who does content says. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, man. It's been Talking Game. Peace.